in the Ottawa football community. So why don't you update the great listeners about what we've been doing there?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been around the league for about six years, kind of pushing HESN and the earlier versions of what HESN has become, but we've never entered the high school market before, and we're proud to announce that we've struck a partnership with a very new up and coming football program in the high school scene, St. Matthews, out of Orleans. A lot of guys that have been involved in the CAFA are there, and the coaching staff. And a lot of players too that we've worked with over the years at the NCAFA level. So we're proud to say that we were out there on Friday afternoon as St. Matt's took on St. Paul's, and being a guy that went to SRB, football was never that big. I mean, I think when I was in grade 9, our varsity team won the city championship, whatever level, or AAA or AA, whatever they were at the time, they had won. But there was always kind of a divide. I was a city player from the West, so I didn't play high school football until grade 13, when a few of my buddies got together and we said we'd play. And we had two coaches that really weren't even at the level that a few of us NCAFA boys were as far as running the team. So it was kind of pretty loose. That was my perception of high school, but it's not like that everywhere in the city. I remember St. Mark's, St. Pete's, St. Paul's. They all have pretty good programs. So, just a little recap on that first game. That was game 1, and St. Paul's hadn't lost to St. Matthews in quite some time. I don't even know if they were competing against each other over the last few years, because St. Matthews did move up into the higher division, which allows them to compete for OSSA now. And St. Matthews won that game. So they started off with a kick return for a touchdown on the opening kickoff. A lot of boys that you and I know, Tyler, over the years. Aiden Ross is playing linebacker at St. Matt's. He is looking big, man. We know he was a big DB at the Cumberland Panthers varsity, but he's playing Sam linebacker, and he doesn't look out of place at all. So he just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Alex Laurie, who we haven't really seen play in some time, he took last summer off from the Panthers program just to focus on a few other things, his training. And we've talked about Alex over the years a ton, and at QB for St. Paul's, that guy's just got some amazing poise. You go up to him, he knows exactly what went wrong in the game. He knows exactly how to fix it. And this team, I know for a fact, is going to be getting better over the next few games.
Yeah, definitely in regards to Alex Laurie, a guy that I've been watching play since I remember watching him and Willie in the CAFA Pee Wee Championship maybe 4 years ago, and I was just impressed with how he threw the ball as a 14-year-old, and watching him progress. He played wide receiver at the Cumberland Panthers junior varsity program, and in the varsity program he played quarterback as well there. So he's a very athletic player. He's a very heady player. He understands what you're trying to do on a football field. He's not just out there running around and throwing the ball up. He really does so many things well. I'm really happy he's playing football again this season in high school, wherever it is, and I hope nothing but the best for him. I can't wait to see what we're going to do. He's an HESN member, so we're going to make sure that when his season's over, we're going to have something fantastic for him and his family to put out there and promote, so he can get the best opportunity to play football at the next level, which is really what this is all about. It's not about it is about having fun, and it's about learning life lessons, but really it's about using the sport as an opportunity and a vehicle to enhance your life and make yourself create opportunities that maybe wouldn't have been there if you didn't play the sport. And that's really, as I just said, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the term that the junior A hockey guys use, which is development, exposure, and opportunity. And I think about what, in my case, what football has done for me from a opportunity standpoint. I mean, it's still delivering opportunities for me, being able to go out and coach, being able to be a part of a community, and kind of have a social aspect that you can go out in the fall evenings and hang around with like-minded people that want to give back. So I mean, there's there's no doubt the sport's doing that for coaches, players, but I mean, you're right. At the end of the day, we want to create more opportunities for these kids. We want to deliver them the exposure that will help them find those opportunities. And Alex Laurie's gonna find himself playing at the next level. It'll be an interesting year for him as he probably starts to zero in on where he's going to commit. And you know what? The other thing I want to say about Alex, we heard Ron Raymond in a video a little while ago talk about how tough he was. That kid doesn't go to bounds, man. He puts his head down, he'll run you over. So if I was, I think they're playing St. Mark's this Friday, and then they got Franco Cite the week after. And you know what? Look out, DBs, because Alex Laurie will run you over.
And you know what? That's great to see at this age. Now, I might not recommend him to continue that as you got older. I learned my lessons the harder. I remember I was playing junior football for the Junior Riders, and I was 21 years old. I was pretty big. I was a 6'2", 225-pound quarterback, and I went to lay a guy out. But when you play against 300-pounders, it doesn't work the same way. So I would recommend to Alex Laurie to sort of say, keep doing it this year maybe, but going forward, just remember that the boys get bigger and stronger, and you got to keep your body fresh because you're one of those players that's probably going to be the most important player in whatever team you end up wanting to play with at the next level. Now,
that's right.
Anything else that you wanted to talk about in regards to the high school?
Yeah, I got to call out a few other guys. I mean, it's kind of a homecoming for me because, like I said, we haven't really had the opportunity to work with any high school programs. We always know they're out there, and I feel like the tides are starting to change a bit, where the community is kind of shrinking down, and I mean, I feel blessed that HESN is kind of at the wedge of it all here, where we're getting, the word of what we're doing is getting out there, and people are investigating our services a bit more. At the end of the day, to be a football team, to not have to worry about film, to not have to just to know that there's going to be quality pro film there with the extra bells and whistles and the exposure for the kids and guys that are really kind of embedded in the Ottawa football scene, not just some schmuck with a camera. I mean, it's relieving. So I've heard that over the last few weeks. Is just you get them set up and you don't have to worry about anything. You can go to coaching. So that's what we try to provide with our service, and likewise with the parent or the athlete, you don't have to worry about film anymore. You sign up for All Access Pass, you get the 3 combines, you get our off-season programming, which will consist of goal setting, and you get every single game filmed and you're highlighted at the end of the year. Bang, one small monthly fee, boom. So we've really worked hard at designing this thing, so it's a real no-brainer, and I feel very positive that it's starting to come around in the collective kind of mindset. But the other fellow that was playing there that we haven't heard from because they've kind of been evaluating what they're doing with their football careers, Keon Williams, one of the most exciting and dynamic running back, scat back type of offensive players. He's playing for St. Matt's. Nathan Cash, who's a Pee-wee player, a guy that we've called out a lot, and we've been working with him and his brother Reggie. He's a 14-year-old cornerback for that varsity team. So he got some good reps in that game, and I think they tested him a few times, and he came up tall. So it's good to see that 14-year-old competing with 17-year-olds, and once again, another indication that that pairing is a good pairing, those age groups.
Yeah, definitely. It's just because we've always done something one way doesn't always mean that going forward it's the way we got to do it. Sometimes with the ever-changing world that we live in, things change so fast. The dynamic of ages and what kids are looking for alters. So we got to make sure we keep our minds open and really allow ourselves to sort of be very, my favorite word, malleable, so we can change as we need to change. So I think that's really important, and that I'm really excited to be working with the great people there at St. Matt's, and look forward to get to know a little bit more of some of the high school kids and some of the high school coaches, and sort of expand our reach within the Ottawa football community. Now, that was a great discussion about high school football, but now I think it's time for you to give everybody a quick recap of where we got to this weekend in the NCAFA
Yep.
stuff, because obviously you're coaching at the Bell Warriors. You guys are right now ranked second in the power rankings. You guys had a great win this weekend, as did the number one team in the power rankings. So why don't you give everyone a quick synopsis of how you guys did, how the number one team in the power rankings did, and if there was any major shakeups in the Bantam power rankings.
Yeah, for sure. Here we go. So at the Bantam level, my team performed very well. We had a 44 nothing victory, which gives us, that's the fourth goose egg on defense that we've had, 4 in a row too. So we haven't been scored on in 4 weeks. Very proud of that team. The one thing that you got to see is this kid James Keenan, man. Holy jeez, this guy just keeps on lighting up the competition. He had a play in this game, couple plays. He rushed for 2 touchdowns through, I believe, another 2 touchdowns. But one of the plays in particular, you might have seen it on the HESN Athletics Instagram, put up on Sunday night after the game, and he broke at least 4 or 5 ankles on the one play and dove in. They didn't give him the touchdown. Sometimes I think it's almost like, even if he got in, they're just kind of like, that play was too good, we can't give him the touchdown. But I think he was in from my view on the sideline. But this kid is just getting better week to week, and the CIS schools, I think, are starting to take notice that this kid's only 15 years old. He's 6'1", 178. He's probably going to be that perfect size when he's ripe and ready to leave high school. So I'm really excited to be working with James. We worked with his younger brother, Charlie. He went to Queens as a running back. Great running back for Bell Warriors through the system. And James, I think, is going to have his pick anywhere in the country to go because of his dynamic ability to run. His mechanics are on point. His poise and his decision making is getting better year after year. But I mean, you cannot teach speed, and you cannot teach his ability to kind of dodge and be elusive out there. So check out the highlights from this week, man. It'll blow your mind what James was able to do.
Yeah, it was really incredible. And like, not to compare, I know that everyone's not as big a fan as Tony Romo as I am, but when Tony Romo first came in the league, he did a lot of that stuff, and that highlight that you showed me reminded me a little bit of that sort of that pocket awareness, and he has enough athleticism to make himself elusive in the pocket, get out the outside, and then he was able to do something that more reminded me of Michael Vick, and he was able to take it down the sideline and make the effort to get into the end zone, and also the touchdown passes, the big number 87 that you guys got there. I've seen him catching passes, making plays, and
that's actually just to correct you. That's Trey O'Brien, and he's a Pee-wee player.
Oh.
But, I was gonna get to him, but we might as well talk about him right now. I feel blessed that he's just signed up for HESN because I've been wanting to work with this kid for a couple of years. He is a physical specimen out there. They've got him as a tailback. They've got him as a slot back. But as you saw in that highlight, he's going up for the ball and jumping over people to come down with touchdowns. He's had 2 touchdowns last week against Myers. He had a 95-yard touchdown down the sideline against the Eagles last week. This guy's a scoring machine. So, I mean, if you're going to beat the Bell Warriors, which started off a little bit rocky, but they're a 3-2 team now. So they seem like they've regained their form.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you were mentioning to me earlier about obviously we'll just quickly mention the Raiders dominated to hold on to the number 1 spot in the power rankings, with the Raiders being 1, Bell Warriors being number 2. But I guess the big shakeup was really at 3 and 4. We had the 3-ranked Giants play against the 4-ranked Canada Knights. And why don't you let people know sort of what happened in that game and what happened after the game ended?
Yeah, you bet, man. So unfortunately, we weren't there for that game. That would have been a good one to be at. But we're good friends with Dean LaChance, who's he's been part of the Vikings program. He's a proud dad of Matt LaChance, who's a Viking. Now he's playing